Oh.
Okay, so I send the link. Do I need to press this? Just open up a new tab just in case.
Resume browsing for buy Twitter likes. Buy Twitter likes. 100% real active favorites.
No, I think I'm good on this one. Or... W leak? What did I leak? What did I leak, chat? I didn't leak anything. Shut up. Okay, so I send the link. Do I need to?
I think Wolfgang earlier said, I'm huge into improving production value and aesthetics, but Justical always told me that if the content is solid, people aren't going to even worry about the look of a stream/show. You can overcome bad aesthetics. The content is always the most important. That is true. Content is like 95%, aesthetics are 5%. They just kind of like make everything else a little bit nicer. But yeah, content is always going to be more important than just how something looks, always. That's why it's always sad to see like new streamers who will buy like a $12,000 streaming setup. And it's like, bro, who like have like 3 viewers? Like, okay. Also, here's something annoying. I get these hard mouse pads from Logitech, and they all start to do this after like a week, where they like start to do this in the middle. It's really fucking annoying. So like if I set my mouse on it, it'll like fall off. Buy a steel pad. What are your ideas of paywalling bridges? Will you release the full VODs eventually? Yeah, everything should be. Hold on. The yeah, everything should be, because I would want all that content online. Yeah. Is that the one for charging a G502? No, it goes on top of the one for that. Yeah. Oh, somebody said he had the buying likes already in his cart. Was it? I can't even read that. Oh, cart, Insta followers, just a moment, ... Oh. Nice. I'm convinced Logitech put shit in their products to malfunction over like a year, so you just have to keep buying them again. Like the scroll wheel issues. I don't know why the scroll wheel issues happen so much. Do you think that Anna looks a little bit like Cersei here? Am I crazy? Like when she had short hair? Is your Kick contract renewed? Not yet. I need to schedule a time to meet with them and discuss it. I don't know what that conversation is going to look like. We'll see. Did you go over this girl's response to you? Destiny's a poster child for having everything wrong with political discourse today. Sick individuals hiding that sickness behind politics at the expense of truth and emotional maturity. Did I already look at this? Or is this a new post? Is this another one? On the 26th. She posted this today? Bro, somebody told me, I haven't looked because I haven't time. I've been so busy. Somebody showed me, or somebody was telling me that this girl and the other dude have been like tweeting about me incessantly for like a month. Is that true? Or I shouldn't have repeated it without looking it up. I don't have time. Make no mistake about what's going on here. Destiny decided to pick a silly fight with me to distract from him bailing on the argument he started with Joseph Jake Klein. To avoid responding, he lost his shit over ... Jake showing sadness that kids are orphaned by war. Only a deeply bitter person would react so violently to this. Do you also insult Jordan B. Peterson when he shows emotion over the fragility of life? Or is this energy just for people who decided can't be used to grow your fame? Wait, does anybody have a... Fuck. You know what the perfect response would be? It would be a response to this tweet with me making fun of Jordan Peterson crying. Anybody have it? Fuck, I just like a 30-second video of that. What a stupid response. But the sickest thing of all is convincing your hundreds of thousands of young followers that showing sadness over children being orphaned by war is degenerate. Like too many people in this alt media space. This war is just another topic to milk for views and unleash the rage eating away at you. Destiny is the poster child for everything wrong with political discourse today. Sick individuals hiding that sickness behind politics at the expense of truth and emotional maturity. Take a hiatus and reflect, Steve, but this is not healthy. Jesus Christ.
People have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. Now, what a terrible thing to do that is. I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
Oh my God.
It's making you emotional to talk about it.
Well, God, you know.
Okay, if this was a woman, everybody would be making fun of her for not being able to control her emotions. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But Peterson fans see this and like, oh my God, so powerful. Get out of here.
Okay. Thank you. Don't care about this. What is this? Her airbags saved her. Okay, boob video. Presidential watch party with Austin show. Jesus Christ. Okay. You'll never have this in your background. We'd moved on from aesthetics, but this is sick. God damn. How does it apply? Do you think Jordan Peterson is a grifter? I don't know. He's very special. What is this?
Hi guys, thank you so much for
Oh my God.
support.
Okay. let's talk about this interface. So we have slightly like, what would you call this? Like darkened or hard to see text that is a clickable element in the video. Okay, this does nothing because there's no closed captions. This actually mutes, even though it doesn't even look like it's a clickable element. And we have no volume control. Actually fucking based. Volume is on the opposite side of the video. Wait, where? Bottom right. Oh, it's a whole thing down here. What the fuck? Oh, why? Why would... Okay, all right. Jesus Christ. Okay. Kino.
Hi guys, thank you so much for the support. I know that like recently I've been posting a lot of like really cringy like sappy shit, but I just want to let you guys know that like I'm actually like I'm okay. Cause a lot of you have been DMing me. I'm fine. I'm good. I think I should probably just like focus on school and, you know, do me. But
the girl broke up with her e-boy because he wanted to see what her body looked like besides an anime profile pic. Then she posts a pic after they broke up. Wait, what?
I'm still gonna post like, you know, stupid, crappy, like sappy, corny relationship stuff like mean who's. So, yeah. Anyway, good night.
$10 DM fee. Based. Speak of the devil, I guess personality doesn't matter anymore to people these days. I was wondering, like, I know what your face looks like. I'm just kind of curious about the rest of you. Rest of me, Sob. I've only seen your face, Sob. I don't really take full body pics, not gonna lie. How am I supposed to know what you look like? Depression face? I don't know what this one is. I don't know. Not even like a mirror selfie. Nah, I don't take those. Frowny face. What's wrong? What, wait, are these people like dating or are they friends or like, they're e-dating. You look fine. I'm glad you think that. It's just like, if you want things to progress with me and you, I feel like I should know, but I understand if you don't want to. Like I said, I'll respect you. So you think my body is a big factor of whether you want to be with me or not. Not a big factor. It is a factor. Well, that's a bit shallow, but I understand. How unfathomably fucking delusional to say this. But it's probably fine. I'm guessing the girl is what, like 14, 15? How old is the girl? I mean, I don't think it's shallow if someone has a preference. Every guy I meet is always, I want a girl who looks like this, and it's literally someone with a Kylie Jenner body. Like, I feel like all these guys are just brain rotted by porn, and like personality doesn't matter anymore, I guess. Who cares? Or not who cares? Like, things can be deal breakers without being the most important part of a relationship. Like, for me, I don't think I wouldn't choose to date a girl just because she has good hygiene, but I would absolutely never date a girl who, like, you know, like, like shits herself. Like, that doesn't mean that I'm shallowly making hygiene like the center point of a relationship. But I think it's okay to have preferences or standards in some areas, but they're not like the determinative factor. They're not like the biggest reason why you care about a particular thing, but I don't even know what Kylie Jenner looks like. Personality is a big factor. Also, this is a red flag here. When you're asking for something basic and then you get compared to other people and they're like, oh, and then they try to make your request seem unreasonable. Like, bro, how is it unreasonable just to want to know what your fucking partner looks like? So you like my personality, but in order for us to keep speaking, you have to see what my body looks like. Huh? Okay. Not to keep us speaking, I would just like to know. This basically implies that what my body looks like factors the way you would feel about me and if things should progress. Is there like an easier way for people to understand the difference between preferences and deal breakers? I wish I had a better, like, I mean, I feel like if you're not, no, hold on. Sometimes I try too hard to think about like, how can I make this work for retards? When in reality, I just shouldn't be thinking about this. An ordinary human being will understand immediately. Oh yeah, of course, some people can have like deal breakers, but that's not what you're centering the relationship around. Destiny, how is that unreasonable? She just doesn't want to be used as a sex object. She wants to be accepted for her personality, not her body. Okay, and that's great for somebody that you only have like existing for you on Discord. But if you want to date somebody, if you want to be near somebody in real life, like some kind of physical chemistry is pretty important. Arguably one of the most important things in that, like, you enjoy touching each other and like cuddling and fucking and like, this is really important. I feel it would be odd to date or be in the talking stage with someone that I don't really even know what they look like. And as I had said, if you're not comfortable right now, you don't have to. I said I respect you. He's even like hedging even too much. I would say like, bro, I can't even see what you look like. What? You have to use project manager lingo. Nice to haves versus non-negotiables. Okay. Well, I feel it would be pretty odd for me to be with someone with that kind of mindset in the first place. If my body is that important, that I'm sorry, there isn't much I can say about this anymore. I think it's better that things end now before they even get started. I've been with someone who is crazy about looks, talked to guys who cared a lot about physical appearance. Sorry, that isn't what I'm looking for. I want something genuine. I would assume that anybody saying stuff like this weighs at least 250 pounds, if not more. Like, people are saying like, here's a body pic or whatever. It's hard to tell here, but I don't want to get all into fucking how people do photos and everything. This girl is definitely at least decently overweight. I'll say that much, but we won't dive too much into that right now. There's a reason why this picture is taken the way that it is. That's all I'll say. In case he was wondering, though. But also, why would you post a picture of your body to people on Twitter and not even to your... What's wrong with BBWs? Nothing is wrong with it at all. You're coping. Thick girls are great. Okay, new stream rule. If you think I'm passing like a normative judgment on something just for expressing some like descriptive fact, you get 30 days, okay? Boom. The photo angle is weird as fuck. Usually weird angles and everything else are because you're trying to hide some aspect of the photo. There's nothing wrong with like being with a chubber or being with a chubby person or chubby people at all. I don't think there's anything wrong at all. I like chubby people. Would you rather a woman who's slightly underweight or slightly overweight? Generally slightly overweight, but I mean, like, it really depends on a lot. Different women wear weight in different ways. If you're only talking about aesthetics, like in terms of how somebody looks, it just depends. Because like slightly underweight could still have like decent boobs or booty, or slightly underweight could be like completely and totally fucking flat because that's why they lose weight. It just depends. It's hard to generalize, I think, one way or another. I think I'd probably generally gravitate towards slightly overweight versus slightly underweight, but I mean, it really depends on the person. I think people don't like the watch party scene of the podcast because it looks too utilitarian. Quick, dynamic layout can fix. I thought about this, but it's like it's reducing the overall visible area of like, like I'd have to minimize this so much. But maybe. Also, I'm not doing current topic. I don't have time to switch through all this shit. It would just be more work. Fuck all that. But like, I don't know. Maybe. What is this? Sneako goes off on Pokemon for calling Dr. Squid a terrible person.
Pokimane, your audience is just jerking off watching you, and everybody knows that. And you know it. Look at her. She's looking down saying, stop that. Look at that cringe. She's cringing at her simp fans jerking off on the stream all day, and she's aware of it. And then she has the balls to go say Dr. Disrespect's a terrible person. Bro, this is my problem with this.
They're both bad people, but like that doesn't.
But nobody cancels Pokimane. There's no hate brigade. Everyone's like.
Wait, why are they?
Then she has the balls to go cringe. She's cringing at her simp fans jerking off on the stream all day, and she's aware of it. And then she has the balls to go say Dr. Disrespect's a terrible person. Bro, this is my problem with this.
I don't care. Don't like me anymore. Sneaker shit. Like everything he says is just stupid. I don't even care for the end of this clip. He's just retarded. He like, God. I watch a video on my commute or videos on my commute. Almost never the time to watch stream. Will you cover more domestic topics soon? Presidential debate. Thanks for all you do. We'll watch a debate tonight. Yeah. Holy shit. This tweet from her is insane. Yeah, I've seen people linking other things. Twitter is never new. It's just the same terrible people over and over again. Just found out I have BPD. It's a rough diagnosis to hear. I also have BPD. If you ever need to talk, I'm here. Warning post aside. I took a BPD quiz. I didn't actually get diagnosed, but I'm thinking of it, to be honest. Didn't you cheat on your BF by sending your body to other guys? It was one guy and we've moved on. He's forgiven me and mistakes happen. Nobody's perfect. I at least admit to my mistakes and know when I'm wrong. You just have BPD and you're crazy. Are you going to research current political shit for the elections, or what are your next research topics? Just catching up on my Israel trip, other than reading that book. Let me do it. There's just not much shit right now to research for election stuff. Conservatives have no platform. There's nothing to like. What are conservatives even talking about right now? Like it's all weird culture shit. Like the last big issue was for a little bit. It was like immigration, but I don't know what conservatives are even. Trump is talking about implementing a universal tariff and abolishing the income tax. That's never happening. It's just a crack pipe dream. It's a wild, retarded fucking research project 2025. No, what a fucking waste of time. No, Jesus Christ, no. Conservatives have this whole idea of how they'll dismantle the government or some dumb shit. But what the fuck is the point of going over it? Like it's all crazy, terrible fucking shit. But like I'm not gonna go over everything like, oh, this would be horrible. 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 It's like I don't know what is the point there? Is there anything Trump could say tonight that would convince you that he won the debate? In terms of like the average person watching? Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen. I'm waiting for this Supreme Court decision on the fucking on this immunity thing. Jesus fucking Christ. Somebody said Hassan defended you. No shot. What is this? No way.
Wonder what's going on with that. I'm not in the business of defending. I'm not in the business of defending Destiny in any capacity. But if that's what you're insinuating, no, that's not. I would go so far as say that
Wait, what was
I'm
that
not in the business. No
accusation?
reason it gets worse for sure. I definitely do. I don't doubt that there's something more going on behind the scenes. Just saying that there's only one other streamer that is indefinitely banned for unknown reason. I was wondering what's going on with that. I'm not in the business of defending. I'm not in the business of defending Destiny in any capacity. But if that's what you're insinuating, no, that's not. I would go so far as say that that's not the reason. Like he does weird ass fucking gross ass shit in general. But no, he is, dude, come on. He is a serial toxic, like, he's a serial toxic content creator who genuinely goes after every single fucking content creator that he chooses to have in his crosshairs with his incredibly passionate fucking fan base. Like, he is a, yeah, you're right. A malignant presence is a great way to put it. Like, there are a million different reasons. That I don't think is one of them. Like, I don't think he's like not getting unbanned by the platform because like he's done some shit like that. No, I don't think that's the reason.
There's like 3 things going on in this video. Firstly, it's funny because he's made these weird pedo jokes about me over and over and over again. So it's not really surprising that his community would think that I am a pedophile and I have fucked kids or whatever the fuck. So that's one interesting thing. Or funny, ironic, I don't know. Like, you've made these claims over and over again. 2, I can't believe that he would even respond to that in chat. Like, why? Like, let them say that and just move on. I don't know why he would even, I don't want to say defend me here, but this is, yeah, this might be the nicest thing Isnt has said about me in the past 5 years, that I'm not a pedophile. But the third thing is, hold on, is debate pedo really implying pedo full stop? Now, I'm not talking about when he calls me debate pedophile. I'm talking when he claims that I debate the age of consent over and over and over and over again, and that I argue the age of consent should be lowered over and over when he says this over. I don't know why he says this so much. It's really fucking weird. But the third thing is him being so fucking adamant that this is not the reason that I'm banned really makes me wonder if he actually has a personal contact that he talks to about my ban. Otherwise, I feel like it would be really weird for him to hedge out that strong of a claim in terms of like me not being banned for that reason. But, Isn't Project 2025 a schizo conspiracy thing some people on the left think? As far as I know, it's not getting any real support from Republicans. Doesn't matter, because Republicans have no principles, and Republicans will do whatever Donald Trump wants to do. If Donald Trump has the popular support in the Republican Party, every single Republican lawmaker will follow Donald Trump off the ends of the earth. That's it. So it doesn't matter what Republicans oppose. Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz and all these people were saying things like Donald Trump be horrible for the United States, he'd be a bad president, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as he's elected, they fall in line 100% and they take marching orders and they everything. Like, yeah. So. Do you agree with Fuzi?
Yo, you guys want to know what I think? I don't think, and I don't care. I'm gonna stand on this. I'm gonna stand on this business right here. I don't think that you have to wash underwear or socks after one wear. And wallah, I mean that. I'm not just saying that for content. Like, sometimes I'd be running the same socks like 4 days in a row, 3 days in a row. You don't gotta wash them after every. Right now, I will put these out because this has been the 3rd day with these, so that's why they're ready. But you don't gotta do it every day. It's like such a waste. You wear it once, you didn't get dirty, you didn't do nothing crazy. Why have to put it in the laundry load and do a whole nother wash? So when I travel places now, I can get away with literally 2 underwears and 2 socks, no matter how many days I'm going with, because it's like, what? It's not dirty. It didn't get dirty. And I've always been like that. Y'all know that. These will go. This is the 3rd day with these. So
okay. All right.
Clearly, Mr. Secretary, this isn't working. Agree
or not? My general rule of thumb is usually the closer stuff is to like your body. I think like the more often it probably should be washed. So like pants, I don't give a fuck about. Shirts, I don't usually care that much. Like t-shirts, underwear, socks, stuff that's like touching your skin, that you're sweating into, the oils from your skin are coming off of, I think generally need more to be washed more. That's how I would view it. But
clearly, Mr. Secretary, this isn't working. So I'm wondering, is there some point, and if you've identified some point where you will stop, where the administration will stop, where the federal government will stop this requirement and let the market decide, as opposed to this central planning model and this dictatorial policy?
Well, thank you. Given time is limited, I will confine myself to addressing the factually incorrect portions of what you have said, beginning with the assertion that EV sales are going down. They are, in fact, going up.
Does that include
every
the government
single
sales
year,
or private sales?
Every single year,
Private sales
more
or government
Americans
sales,
have purchased
Mr. Secretary?
EVs. The entire market.
The
overall.
government's forced to buy them, so sales are going up, but private sector.
There are private
is
sales
not.
too. Yeah.
I'd like those numbers.
Sure. 1.2 million EVs were sold in the U.S. in 2020.
How many government and how many private?
We'll get you that breakout, but as you know, more private citizens buy EVs than government purchases.
No, I don't.
Let me
know that. I don't think
address
that's
the second
true.
factual mistake in your
Okay.
remarks, which was that EV costs are getting higher. They're in fact getting lower, and according to J.D. Power, have now reached parity or are slightly lower than
With
the
or without
equivalent
subsidy,
gas-powered
Mr.
car.
Secretary? With or
that
without
does, yeah, that does include the subsidy. That's right. But the point is, they are going lower. each
But they're
passing
not,
year.
'cause we're all
Your
buying them.
statement that they are
We're all
going
paying
up is
for them.
incorrect. The third incorrect assertion you made is that sales dropped in Q1. They did not drop compared to Q1 of the previous year. Of course, if you compare them to Q4, they drop because they always do, because car sales are seasonal. But I would imagine most people are aware of that. And
No, I'm
fourth,
talking about
I want to
particular
address the
EV, Q4 to Q1. EV, not just overall car sales.
Any car sales go down Q1 to Q4 because more people buy cars in Q4. But what I'm telling you is every single year, more Americans buy EVs than the year before. And the word tailspin is just a bizarre word to use for a growing sector of our economy. We also think that since that's the way that the market is headed, we should not allow China to build on the advantage that they developed during the Trump administration, not because they're environmentalists, but because they understand the economic power of trying to dominate the EV market. We want those EVs to be made in America, and increasingly they are.
I'm happy to have them made in America, Mr. Secretary. What I'm not happy about is the mandate. The American people should be able to buy.
That brings me to the
any
fourth and
vehicle
final
that
thing
they
that
want to.
I need to
yield.
challenge as being factually inaccurate.
Why does he keep letting Pete cut him off? On these congressional hearings, aren't you allowed to reclaim your time? I'd like to reclaim my time. I'd like that one lady who does these videos. I was like, I like to reclaim my time. I'd like to reclaim my time. I don't know why Scott Perry keeps letting him talk over him, unless this is like, unless there's a reason why in this particular one you can't do that. I don't know.
Brings me to the
Any
fourth and
vehicle
final
that
thing
they
that
want to.
I need to
yield.
challenge as being factually inaccurate, which there is no
You know what an EV is? Electric vehicle.
mandate. You can purchase a gas car if you want to pay gas prices at the pump, but if you don't, you can purchase an EV with our help.
We're going to
Fuck. I like Pete Buttigieg, but he couldn't make it because I unironically think that like he comes off as too much of like an intellectual and people don't like that. They need a more down to earth guy. The gay thing might have hurt him too. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Jesus Christ. Watch Myron and Sneako get stomped in a debate that they're the same as black people in America and that anyone can be successful if they put their minds to it. I'm good. Will there be a slasher combo today? No clue. If he messages me, there will be. If not, there won't be. What?
Oh, it's okay. Oh, baby, you okay? Are you okay? Oh, it's okay. Are you okay? Oh, okay, baby. Oh, did that bump your head? Yes. Are you okay? Yes. Did that get your head? Oh no. Oh, Sonny, are you okay? Oh.
I think they hear a noise behind them and then everybody acts weird and so they start crying. This is how babies work by reflex like this, right? That's why when they get hurt, they always look to the parents to see what their reaction should be. Can you at least translate the tweet? Les plus grands monsters del mundo. What does this mean? Does this monsters? The parents, les plus, does that mean parents? The parents are big monsters of death. De monde, I don't know. That's my guess. The parents are big monsters of death. Translate. Oh, the biggest liars in the world. Okay, not even close. This is French. His parents were in Paris? True. Montieux are liars. Okay. MDR means LeMayo. What is world in? Translate world from Spanish to English. No, world. What? Did I? Okay. I fucked up. Mundo. Oh. Del mundo. Wait, why do I? What is that used in? The mundo of the world. No. Todos is everything, right? I have heard this before. I don't even know where. Telemundo? What is Telemundo? Something television for the world? Some news channel? Don't care. Don't care. Don't give a fuck. Okay, do I want to watch this?
The most easily.
I really don't like this guy, and this guy offers little to no value for any kind of commentary. I'll give him 2 minutes. No, wait, we'll go for this first bump. We'll give him 3 minutes. And then after this, I think we'll go over Loner Box's interview with Dr. Kadar, and then I might read that Supreme Court thing, and then that debate thing is tonight. We'll see.
Easily offended and censorious people are usually those with the closest proximity to power. There's an inverse correlation between how outraged you are by speech you disagree with and how likely that speech is to actually hurt you. And I don't mean like individually powerful people here. I mean hegemonically powerful people, people in the dominant group, white people.
Wasn't this the video a dono challenged to get through 10 minutes and he failed? Was this? Is this that video? It is a month old.
Men, straight people, that kind of thing. The powerful and privileged are the least likely to being challenged, to being upset, and the least likely to experience consequences for any overreaction we might have. Basically, we can say whatever, and nobody ever jumps up our entire asshole about it. Like, say, if women said they felt more comfortable around bears than dudes, people might absolutely lose their minds about that, but I can say whatever dumb shit I want. Once you notice this, you start to see it everywhere. The people with no real reason to be upset being the loudest and most upsettest about nothing, shouting directly over minority groups how ball-bustingly irate they are about grievances that would be trivial even if they hadn't been imagined. Fucking pronouns! But there's one group of people who right now are really changing the game in terms of phony, weaponized outrage directed at people who they themselves are hurting. I'm of course referring to the humble Zionist. Please observe the exact phenomenon I am describing distilled into its purest essence. If you expect me to argue that Israel's actions in Gaza and Palestine generally constitute a genocide, or that Israel is an
Is this Ludwig's friend? No, thank God, no. I don't know if this guy has any friends.
nationalist project whose existence is premised on the extermination of the indigenous population, I'm not going to do that. That's merely the truth. I'm not particularly interested in humoring the people who continue to pretend otherwise. This video isn't meant to convince anyone to support the Palestinian cause because, you know, if you're not already supporting that, you're not reachable. If watching thousands of people be brutally murdered didn't move you, what the fuck am I going to say to convince you to become a human being? For the record, if you're looking for a video like that, there's some in the description below from creators who are more suited to it and have more patience than I. No, I have a much more modest purpose in mind for this video, one which I believe I'm far better equipped to handle. I just want to point and laugh at the way that Zionists portray themselves as the victims of their own oppressive behavior. That is what we will be discussing today. They deserve to be mocked, to at all times have the humiliating cowardice at the center of their worldview exposed for all to see, and importantly, for everyone to laugh at. You know, it's a difficult time to be a Zionist. Support for genocide can be bad for your personal brand. It is therefore...
Okay, there's nothing of value here. I'm good. I'm so good on that. Thank you.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, what's up, buddy?
Hey, you gonna be covering the debate tonight?
Yeah, we'll be watching it. I think I can watch it on Kick because I won't get DMCA'd.
Gotcha. What would the consequences of that be, out of curiosity? Because I've not had a copyright strike. Is it like channel deletion or a ban?
You know what? Hold on. I'm not doing this for you. You need to turn your fucking mic up. Figure it out. I'm keeping you at 100. Okay, I'm not changing
All right,
it.
what about now? God damn, what about now? What about now?
Barely. Turn it up a little bit more.
Hang on, that's... What about now?
Okay, turn it down like 20%.
There's no pleasing you.
Just...
What about now?
Okay, good enough.
All right, thank you.
What would be the consequences if you get an active copyright strike?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Because like I was
listen to me.
It, so,
Listen to me real quick, okay? if you ever have questions about this, come to me, trust no one else, because people talk a lot of shit, and streamers are functionally retarded when it comes to stuff like this, even though it directly implicates their jobs and their livelihoods, okay?
That's precisely why I'm coming to you.
Good, okay.
You have all the answers. You
Now-
are my great sage, my oracle.
I could be wrong on this because these processes get changed and they update, so just take what I'm saying with a slight grain of salt, but do not let somebody contradict me unless they have firsthand experience. Not they heard it from somebody or whatever, and they're not retarded. Because some people can have firsthand experience, but they're still retarded, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so generally speaking, there are 2.5 to 3 ways for stuff to get content ID'd, okay? One way that it can happen is, well, let me be more clear. Content ID is a system in which YouTube has a massive database of stuff that it doesn't want anybody else to put on YouTube because somebody has registered it with them. And what will happen is if you're live streaming, I don't know if you've ever live streamed on YouTube, but if you have, maybe you'll notice in the bottom left, a little thing will pop up and it'll say, copyrighted content detected. Stop it or we're going to shut your stream off. You're like, oh, okay.
No, I've never seen that. Okay, so it's
well,
some sort of pop-up?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll say below on your studio thing, below your video, where it says excellent connection. That'll be replaced with a warning message and a yellow bubble instead of a green bubble, okay?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Now, if you upload a YouTube video and you upload it all and it goes through and it's fine, and you get an email saying, warning, your video has been content ID matched. That's not a copyright strike. It means that you matched something that was added to the database, and now you're either going to lose the revenue from that video, or it's just letting you know, or some other bullshit, and maybe some countries won't let you display it, okay?
Yeah, now that I've seen in real time in studio, like it gets caught in like the check section, and it's like, hey, listen, this is going to be either completely demonetized because of some sort of claim. You can still play the video, but you make no money from it.
Correct, yeah.
So that I've had before.
Okay. So when you're live streaming, this can happen. When you upload things, it can happen, okay? Now, that's like the auto ID system. Now, in the second part, we call these copyright strikes colloquially. I don't think it's that's what people call them. You have manual claims, okay? Now, manual claims are a big deal because a manual claim can involve somebody clicking buttons, filing something on the forums with YouTube about your content. And when they do that, it can be a takedown where they're saying, take this down and tell this person that, like, I don't want them to have my shit up ever. They fucked up. And YouTube will give you a copyright strike. A copyright strike, unless they've changed the process, usually means on your first one, I don't think you get a warning. I know you get one warning for community guidelines violation. I don't know if you do for copyright ones. If you do, then the first one's just a warning and it's okay. But if it's not, then the first one, you'll be banned from streaming or uploading, I believe, for 1 week. And that strike will stay on your account for 90 days. If you accumulate 3 of these strikes, the second strike is worse. I don't think you can stream or upload for 2 weeks. If you accumulate 3 of these strikes, your channel is permanently shut down, lost to the abyss. You'll never get it back ever. Now, I believe that somebody also, when they're filing a copyright strike, a manual one, they can also request that you take it down and give you a grace period to do that. Or they might be able to revenue claim, and then you can either acquiesce to that or fight it. But yeah, be careful for the manual copyright strikes, because I think they have the option to just like insta-fuck you there with the push of a button, and you'd have to fight it to not be fucked. But
Can like a third party narc on another party's behalf? So like if we live stream, like if I were to take the risk and live stream the CNN stuff, could someone in your audience who hates my guts like file some sort of copyright claim with YouTube?
Maybe. I don't talk too much about that because I don't want to give people guidelines, but theoretically,
All right, fair enough.
I will say that when you fill out the DMCA form on YouTube, you are generally you're generally attesting under penalty of perjury that this is who you are. And I mean, technically, I don't know if I'd say you're breaking the law if you lie on that form, but you could get in trouble because if the person counterclaims, then this thing would simply go away. But yeah.
Well,
no, you're
I mean,
legally impersonating somebody else. I think you probably could get in trouble for that, legal trouble, if the other party that you're impersonating decides to sue you or something, but yeah.
Fair. Well, we saw with Hunter Biden what happens if you falsify information on a form, so you go to jail for the rest of your fucking life.
Only when it comes to marijuana, though, and crack cocaine.
True.
Yeah.
True. Well, listen, buddy, I know I know you were abroad. I know there's still a lot of Israel-Palestine stuff to go over, but big deal tonight, this presidential debate. Well, how do you feel about it? Who do you think's going to win? Give me your thoughts.
I have no idea. I don't know how it's going to go. I mean, the rules are going to make it. I like that the last time I complained about debates, I said there should be no audiences because people's minds are legitimately influenced by hearing people clap. Like, it makes a difference. And having a live audience I think makes it so that you're playing a little bit more of this entertaining thing rather than trying to be like factual or substantive. If Trump tries to do any of those like really witty one-liners, I think it's going to fall very flat, and I think it's going to be very strange, and it's going to feel very out of place. So he's doing that without a live audience in front of him. So I like the fact that they've gotten rid of the audience. I think that they got rid of they're muting mics for answers as well, right?
Yeah. So my understanding is, so no live audience. If the other person if one person's speaking, the other person's mic is automatically muted. And what's interesting is initially I was like really happy about those rules because, to your point, I think it would at least increase the likelihood that the debates, become more substantive.
Yeah.
But now, okay, let me throw you an alternate theory, which I'm being told is the case, is that this will actually benefit Trump because, for precisely the reason you just said, it will actually force Trump to engage on policy and substance. Now, I'm thinking he's incapable of that. So
that's what I think.
Yeah. But basically that he is less inclined to be an asshole if there's no audience to appeal to, and that will make him seem more presidential. I
don't know if he has it in him anymore. I'm not sure. He is a bit more wacky now. Like he has degraded compared to what he was. My time is destroying my. Is 8 years ago is when he first became president, right? 2016. Yeah, he definitely has like slowed down, and he is different than he used to be. So I don't know if he has the ability to come on and do like a super serious conversation like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm. Or go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I feel like maybe I'm wrong and maybe I'll be wrong, but I feel like conservatives have no platform right now. I truly don't know what the average conservative stands for. I know what they kneel for, which is Trump, but I don't know. I have no idea at all what the policy positions are of an average conservative now, other than like don't buy Budweiser and be anti-woke. And yeah, I have no clue.
Well, and again, that president should have absolute God immunity, stuff like that.
Only for Trump. Only for Trump. Not the president. Only you said the president. That's not true. Well, it might be true because they want to make Trump president forever somehow. But yeah.
Well, if you ever end up having another conversation with Ben Shapiro, that'd be a good thing to bring up because he actually literally wrote a book in 2014, I think it was, about prosecuting President Obama. And so now it's like, okay, Ben, it's been 10 years and you're backing, Trump now. Has your position on this changed? Is only Trump entitled to absolute presidential immunity? Do you concede, your earlier position on this?
I have Trump. The problem is Ben Shapiro you watch. Yeah, Ben Shapiro he's too good for me. He mind fucked me so hard. I had so much of a debate ready for that. And you gave me that idea too. You fucked me on this because we were talking in the car about that. You were like, you need to really push. Does he grade Trump on a curve? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I need to focus a lot of this. And so I had a whole line of argumentation to go down there on all the differences between how you treated Trump versus Biden. And when I brought that up, like, do you think that you grade Trump on a curve? And he's like, yeah, I do. And I was like, oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Wait,
he flat out owned it.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to say yes to that. You had to fight on that. Wait, what do you mean? You treat him? Wait, what the fuck? So I don't even know what I can say, and he might just own it again. It's like, yeah, I actually don't believe in any of that anymore because I actually think that Trump is really important for the United States. Like, oh well, fuck me, I
fuck
guess.
yourself. Yeah. When he was like, Steven, I don't hold my 10-year-old to the same standard that I hold my 6-year-old, and you were like, well, how about we treat him like the president of the United States, who's not a 6 or a 10-year-old? And he literally, if you ever go back and watch, I don't know if you actually watched the conversation, you were looking down at your pen and paper, you were doodling penises, I think.
Nice.
And when you were talking, he literally visibly reacted to you saying, how about we treat him like an adult who was the president of the United States? And he gave this face like, why the fuck would we do that? It was the most stunning conversation, I think, between Ben Shapiro and anybody I've ever seen. But the other things I want to point out to you is that with these debate rules, there are also no notes. That's something else. Like they
do
can't
people normally take notes? Oh, like they can't bring notes with them?
Correct. Right. So they can't bring notes with them, and they can't confer with their advisors like on commercial breaks and stuff like that. I didn't realize that was a thing, but apparently in all other previous debates, that the candidates could like when they cut to commercial, they could run off to the sides of the stage and be like, holy fuck, what I forgot about this about the economy or this about foreign policy, and then get a quick primer. They can't do that. They have to stay at the podiums.
Sure, I mean, I guess, but I don't feel like Trump knows anything about anything. I legitimately, this is always a challenge to get to conservatives throughout all of 2016 to 2020. No one ever rose to actually meet this challenge. It was a question can you show me one video of Trump talking where he sounds like somewhat intelligent about an issue related to being the president of the United States, where it seems like he really knows what he's talking about? I've never seen a single video of him speaking like he has a comprehensive understanding of everything going on. He speaks in slogans. The man lives and dies in buzzwords and catchphrases. So, but I mean, you'll probably just do the same tonight.
Yeah, I think the thing that I keep going back to, which is why I sent you a link to Piers Morgan's latest pro-Trump, anti-Biden panel, which you should check out. It is crazy. The persistent demand that we grade Trump on a curve, like it does go back to the Shapiro thing, but mainstream media is guilty of this too. Like the thing is, and you know this is true, this debate tonight, even if Trump doesn't know anything about the substance, which he's demonstrated in 2020 and 2016, it's Trump, so he's treated differently. If Biden shits the bed, metaphorically speaking, on substance or policy, he'll lose the debate. Is there any way, do you think, when it comes to Trump, to force people to reckon with the asymmetry? Like I'm in my, like on my channel's content, I'm like, this is something we have to fight constantly. Like, you know, you tried to do this on Piers Morgan, Mehdi Hassan has as well. Like, hey, stop grading this motherfucker on a curve. You know, if we're going to question mental fitness, then we should question both their mental fitness, given that they're both really fucking old. They're both gaff machines. And the polls show that a majority of Americans have doubts about Trump, too.
Yeah,
it's not just Biden.
You can do that, but you have to be very cognizant then that the people that you're aiming for, are very much like independents and people in the middle. You're never going to see this in Trump's audience. There's nothing you can do to make a conservative care about any factual analysis of the world. The ship has sailed on that. They don't give a fuck anymore. So you're never like pulling his hardcore fans or any of the people talking about it, talking about Trump away from him. You're aiming for people that are in the middle that aren't like talking much online. It's very, very difficult to do that. Like, and when I say people in the middle, I mean actually people in the middle, not people that call themselves centrists who are squarely conservative through and through, or at least squarely like infinitely supporting Donald Trump through and through. So yeah, it's difficult. You can't really fight them. Like the best way that Biden could win a debate against Donald Trump in the eyes of a conservative would be to have wittier one-liners. That would be the way to do it. Like that's it.
Right.
But
do you consider, because I don't know the last like truly independent person that you talked to or debated with, but do you consider Morgan an independent, or do you consider him like
Piers Morgan?
Yeah.
He's a newscaster guy, hoster for me. I don't even know legitimately what his opinions on anything are. That's not an insult or anything. I just don't know. I don't know if he has strong stance on it.
But would he and his platform, I suppose, be a place where you would, I guess, kind of fight that asymmetry? Like I know you just said, you know, you're not going to move any Republicans or conservatives over on
I wouldn't fight to demonstrate the asymmetry. I think I would fight to try to demonstrate the importance of the asymmetry. It wouldn't be me trying to convince people that Biden is smarter than Trump. It would be me trying to convince people that the fact that Biden is smarter than Trump is important and we should care about that, because I don't think people care about that. So when you move on to the next part, you're already like presupposing a care for this particular thing.
Fair. I do think it's a pain in the ass, and I'm on his ass all the time. I'm trying to get him to have you or Beasley or Mehdi Hassan. That'd be my dream. If you could somehow make that happen, the final boss of Piers Morgan panels would be 2 Trumpers versus you and Mehdi Hassan on Biden, because I've noticed like with all the panels, he never actually gets an enthusiastic Biden supporter on. And I suppose Mehdi Hassan isn't, but he will die on the hill that Biden is just objectively better than Trump. Like the panel I just sent you, he's got Joe Walsh, who is a former Republican congressman who's kind of like he'll shit talk Biden, but he thinks Trump is worse. And then Francesca Forientini, who's really funny. She's a female comedian of like the Bituation Room or whatever. She's like a Young Turks affiliate, but she hates Biden too because of Gaza and Israel. So she kind of does like the Cenk Uygur thing where she'll probably back him more than Trump, but like he never gets on people who are as pro-Biden as the pro-Trump guests that he has. I feel like that's fishy. Like he doesn't want to like an even terrain on this, and I feel like that's a lot of case.
Well, I don't know if it's that he doesn't want an even terrain so much as it's hard to find people that are in this media sphere that are like enthusiastically pro-Biden. Like it feels like even if you're a liberal, if you're a progressive, you hate everybody. But even a lot of liberals seem to just throw Biden under the bus. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They did actually ask me to do a show tomorrow morning. I just responded to that. Thanks for reminding me. So hopefully I'll be on that.
Yes. They tell you what it's about.
We're doing a big post-debate segment on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
He teased that. Well, he didn't mention you by name, but he did say that they were reaching out to people for like a big post-debate thing. So that's fucking awesome. That's good. Yeah. Some other things just want to bring to your attention. They still have not ruled on the Trump immunity thing. That we'll either hear about that tomorrow or sometime
we'll get the
early next
ruling
week.
tomorrow, or what do you mean we'll hear about that tomorrow?
Yeah, so traditionally, and I don't think there's any like rule for this, and Pisco can fact check me, but I'm 99% sure I'm right. There is no rule which says that the Supreme Court has to provide verdicts or rulings for cases that they hear in the same term. Like in theory, I think they can like drag it out for months and months and months. But there's the speculation is that we will get the ruling. We're supposed to get the ruling by the end of the term, which was supposed to be tomorrow. And now they've dragged it out until early next week. So people are saying that we will finally get the ruling on the immunity case, but it still hasn't happened yet. And so, again, I ask you, how confident are you that they're going to kind of shut down Trump's claims of immunity, or do you think they're going to try to throw him a bone?
I mean, I have no idea. I feel like it's impossible that they would allow that to stand. That just seems like one of the most unbelievable ahistoric approaches to the powers of the president that I could ever imagine. So, but I don't know.
Would
Maybe
you
there's some
ever
like legal
entertain-
thing that I am missing or I don't understand. What were you saying?
Would you ever entertain the notion of any presidential immunity? Because they granted it for Nixon, right? Or excuse me, they granted civil immunity during the Nixon case in like 1970. Like basically,
Wait,
can't
can you
sue a
explain
president.
that? What do you mean?
Yeah, so my understanding is that you can't like a citizen can't sue a president, any president, not just Nixon, for anything that falls within what they call the outer perimeter of their office. So if the president does something that like as a policy that inconveniences you or whatever, whereas you might have grounds to civilly sue somebody, you can't do it for the president.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, that makes some sense though. Yeah.
Right.
And there's a civil side.
What
It's way
about
different.
criminal liability? Would you ever accept anything?
There's
Any immunity.
got to be some baked in immunities already for that. Would be my guess. There has to be.
I don't think there is so far because there's never been an actual attempt to prosecute a president. I mean, Nixon was the only one where it was even considered, and President Ford pardoned him preemptively. I think.
Oh no! Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Oh wait. I'm so sorry. Can you ask me your question again?
Yeah. So, would you ever accept any level of immunity from criminal liability for a president?
No, I don't think so.
Once they leave office. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Because criminal stuff is always going to have the mens rea component, and the president should never be committing crimes like that. There's just no reason in the purview of being a president for that. Why you'd be committing those
Yeah,
crimes.
that's my position. But a lot of people are saying that they're going to try to strike a balance, that they're not going to adopt the full, absolute sovereign immunity approach that Trump's team is taking, nor are they going to grant special counsel's position that there's no immunity whatsoever, that you have to have there has to be some areas where the president is not criminally liable. But I don't see why that would be the case because, to your point, it's not like, I understand, isn't it criminal conviction, like beyond all reasonable doubt? Like you try to make that case. So like the burden's pretty high anyway.
The burden is extremely high, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like, people say, well, it'll just open up a can of worms. People are going to sue, previous presidents. And it's like that hasn't.
Suing when people talk about suing people.
Going to prosecute previous presidents, but that hasn't happened. Again, even with Nixon, he was never actually prosecuted.
Well,
so I still feel like
there was a concern that he would be, though, and I believe at the time the understanding was that he could be, and I believe that's one of the reasons why he was pardoned.
But I guess what I'm saying is, if they rule that there's no immunity, do you think that the conservative prophecy that this is just going to trigger a tit for tat prosecution? Do you think that will happen?
No.
Like it will open the floodgates?
No, I think that's ridiculous. I think it's by a bunch of people who don't understand the law. What are the crimes? People get mad at me when I say this. When people are like, "Oh, Bush should be charged for war crimes. Obama should be charged for what crimes?"
That's the one. That they say he drone struck
Yeah.
an American citizen in the Middle East.
What's
I can't
the
even remember
crime?
what the particulars were.
You need to point to a crime that we're talking about here. Are we going to say that like it was a murder? Yeah, no, this is ridiculous. No, I think it's absolutely fucking absurd. And again, this is the United fucking States of America. Okay, like one of the very few shared values that we should have as citizens is that no individual is above the law. Even in the England and everything, the Magna Carta and all this shit. No kings. Nobody is above the law. Nobody's above the law. The idea that the United States president would be the first one, like in this realm of democracy, to rise above all criminal law would just be one of the most hilariously ironic ways for the United States to begin its downward tumble. It would just be insane.
Who do you think is going to win the election? Final question.
I think Biden will. I still think so, but anything can happen. We'll see.
God, I love your optimism. I'm too much of a cynic. But last time I was pretty cynical on an election. IRI proved me wrong, and the red wave never manifested. But good. Anything else going on? Are you back in the States for a long stretch, or are you gonna be traveling again?
Nope, I'm back here for a while. Yeah, probably through the election at least, I would imagine. Or I don't have any plans to travel, at least not out of the country right now. So
awesome. All right, buddy. Listen, you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm telling you, if you get bored, That Piers Morgan panel, pretty fun. You should watch it
Okay.
and criticize it and react
Keep
to
it
it.
in mind. All right.
All right, buddy. See ya.
The fuck?
Doing?
Nothing.
Hey, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Good. See, that's somebody that gets the fatty lifestyle. Do nothing and you'll be nothing. And that's the way you want to be. I see that a lot of you bought my coin because you want to be a broke, fat fuck like me. Well, guess what? I'm going to give you your first challenge. If you're holding my coin, your coin's value just went up. I had my team burn 50 million tokens. That way you have to work even harder to be a broke, fat fuck like me. A lot of people wanted to know how much coin I'm holding. 2% of the coin belongs to me. And people ask me, why didn't you sell it at the top? The answer is simple. I'm riding it to zero, baby! Yeah, just like I did with Ethereum when it dropped.
And he said that he thought that just because he said,
Confronting Boogie 2988 on crypto scam 16 hours ago.
hey, don't buy this unless you're rich, that nobody was going to put their money in. A few hours later, $3 million worth of trading volume had been done. And I tried to tell him and explain to him that that's how these deals work. Insiders pay you, the celebrity, to go ahead and promote something. They paid him $10,000. And then people end up buying the coin. It doesn't matter what you say. The whole point is they're renting your likeness, renting your image in order to do that. He then told me, well, you know, basically...
Please 2x this. It is a genuinely terrible video. Like, as in the scam is terrible, or it's like low quality, like Coffeezilla doing the reporting, or... When people talk about prosecuting Bush, aren't they usually invoking or at least implying something having to do with the ICC? Nope, because nobody knows anything about international law, so no, they are not. They are absolutely not. Wait. Speaking of, it's just him and Boogie going around in circles on the phone. New video. I haven't watched this one yet.
It's not Miss Foley, you idiot. It's probably someone in our grade.
Fine, then my guess is you, Billy. I can see it. Freak.
If it's anybody in this room, it's you, Chester.
It's me. Uh-huh. Yeah? Okay, then what's my motivation?
Attention, fame, the classics.
Get back at the mean, popular kids for being so mean, too.
Yeah, collect bones or grow your bone collection, make bone art.
Maybe you don't even have one. You're just a sick animal running around like Michael Myers shit.
Like open a bone furniture store.
Are any of you guys the least bit fucking scared? 4 kids were brutally murdered, and the killer's just out there running around. I just worry, like, what if one of us is next?
Just trying to think of more bone stuff.
Can somebody walk me home?
I can't, sorry.
Yeah, walk me home.
Fuck, I think I left my phone at Chet's.
I'll walk back with you.
Wait, can you call him and make sure he's still there?
Yeah. Nothing.
Why isn't he answering? We were just there.
I don't know. He's probably fine, but yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
We should just go check it out.
Yeah,
Just keep
Yeah, I'm
calling
gonna call again.
Under the covers? Why?
Okay, text Liam and Billy and tell them to go to Chet's.
Okay.
Dude, what? Hello? Oh, sorry, I thought this was someone else. Who is this?
Chet, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad that we can finally talk, Chet. Now that you're done jacking off.
Who the fuck is this?
It's me, silly. The MILF with busty oiled up naturals. Did I see you put your finger in your butt when you came?
No. Who the fuck is this? I'm gonna call the cops.
There he is, dude. Chet!
Chet, open the door.
Chet, come on.
Let's
Dude,
go.
I called you 5 times. What are you doing?
To get to you. What the fuck?
Whoa, what are you doing?
Get inside. Be quiet. Shut the fucking door.
Hey. What are you doing?
Chet, what the fuck is going on?
Someone just tried to kill me, Billy.
Sorry,
what?
Are you okay?
Sit down.
Dude, come on.
Sit down, Will!
It's the girl, 100%.
Stand up, Elise.
I did nothing wrong. I swear to God.
I know it wasn't you.
Wait, I was with her, so if you know it wasn't her.
He was.
Pinky promise?
Yeah, Pinky promise.
What's with the flashlight?
It's not a flashlight. It's a black light. Turn it on.
Ew, is that cum on your finger?
No. Semen does fluoresce under black light, but so does urine. So does fecal matter. So does blood.
So it's blood?
Nah, it's my shit. I managed to get some in the killer's mouth, and I'm assuming he hasn't had time to clean it out.
This is ridiculous, dude. Please, can we just call the cops?
Angus, you can go first.
Huh? But I was with her.
Good. Then there won't be any shit in your mouth. Open up. He's good. Liam?
Okay, Chet, I swear to God, I'm not the killer. I promise I'm not the killer. There's just a chance that there's a little bit of poop in my mouth.
What is it? Why would there already be poop in your mouth, Liam?
There's probably not any. Let's just see if there is, and then we can go
What are
from
you
there.
trying to say, man?
I don't want to cross that bridge unless I absolutely have to.
Why would there be shit in your mouth already?
I'll explain. If there's poop in my mouth, then I'll explain.
Shut up.
If there's
Shut
shit
up.
in my mouth,
Shut
not
up.
yours.
Shut up. Open. Wider. He's good. So that leaves Langdon, my oldest friend. Open up, asshole. Billy, I said open up. What are you doing, man? Just open up. Sit down. Sit down! Billy, man.
There's shit on his finger because he sticks it in his ass while he jerks off.
What are you doing, Chet? Oh my God, Billy! Oh my God!
I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you weren't too scared.
Wait, what?
Remember, there are no such things as teenagers or serial killers. And remember, Cash App makes it easier for you to save with up to 4.5 interest on savings, so you can save up for the things you really love, like spooky masks that you wear alone in your apartment or to your cousin's college graduation party. Download the app today and take control of your finances with Cash App. Join the millions who already manage their money with Cash App and start saving today. Make the most out of your money. It pays to get paid on Cash App.
Okay. I think most people were commenting favorably about the Ben Burgess debate. I saw a few comments, although they were mainly downvoted, so maybe not worth responding to. But there were a few people who were upset that I was like harping so much on the individual factual things and that they didn't matter that much. I feel like I addressed literally all of this in the debate. Hold on, wait. So I don't know if it's even worth saying it again. But the reason why it's important to start from a shared factual foundation is so that in the middle of trying to lay out some other claim, the opponent can't start just saying a bunch of like random shit that you both know isn't true. If you want to have a conversation about a particular thing, you should be able to start from some shared agreement rather than, especially for Israel-Palestine, completely starting off in opposite worlds. I have no desire ever again to have a conversation like that where we immediately begin the conversation in totally different realities in terms of what we're discussing. So I do stand by my decision to start with the like, well, let's focus on these three things then. Do we agree here? The fact that we didn't get any further in the conversation, I don't think is evidence that my strategy is bad. I think it's evidence that Ben was just not capable of having the conversation. If you can't just agree to these things and move on, then that's your fault. I think I said multiple times, I was like, listen, you can agree with, like I was trying to head off, he was trying to head me off, and I was trying to head off his heading of me off by saying, listen, you can agree with all these things and they don't actually, they might not matter for your moral argument at the end. They might be that you agree with these things, but you still disagree that the United States should help Israel. That's fine. I just want to like lay out these fundamental facts first. Man. Somebody said, Burgess didn't really disagree on history. He simply argued that nothing mattered. I disagree. You should have said that he ended up saying that it didn't matter, but it was only after losing the arguments on all of those points. So I disagree that is what happened. Because I think I even tried to short circuit these arguments. I literally said, listen, you can just say like we agree here and then we just move on. He was the one choosing not to do that. There is no excuse. There is no reason to have to give a 5-minute response every single time I ask a simple question just because you have a refusal to make an agreement on some basic facts because you think it's going to hurt you in an argument later. That's demonstrating the weakness of your opinion, and it's demonstrating a bad faith that you're not even willing to agree on what should be some pretty easy shared realities before we move on to the argument because you're so scared that you're being set up on something. Like, it's just, yeah. Should you be conciliatory first, like saying, do you agree with XYZ fact that you laid out in the opening? Can we also make sure that we agree on my facts too? I could be, but he didn't have any facts that he wanted me to agree with at all. He just wanted to start off with the most like abstract claims. And then that was it. I don't think he gave me anything to agree with. I would have no problem agreeing with it. I have no problem. I bite bullets all the time. Someone to say, well, what about this? You can say, yeah, I agree with that. Or what about this? Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I have no problem at all, like agreeing with sets of facts like that. But he didn't do it, yeah. You got the furthest in the Q&A when actual questions were posed. Yeah, but that's by the Q&A point, I basically given up on a debate with him, and then I just started to lay out the positives for my argument or what I thought what he was doing. People liked my QA more, but my QA was significantly more debate bro-y / debate tacticsy or bad faith than the intro. The intro was just me trying to have a good faith discussion. Like me accusing him, for instance, of using red herrings is a bit of a gamble on my end, but I think it paid off because he could actually counter my point and say, oh, actually, you're wrong. This isn't a red herring. But he never said that because I was correct. But that's a bit of a gamble, and it's a bit more aggressive. Like when I say, when people criticize the types of weapons that Israel uses, they don't actually care about the weapons. They just want the war to stop. No weapon is okay. And I said that that was a red herring, and he never contradicted me ever. But when he says I want special ops instead, and I'm like, no, they don't want special ops. They just don't want a war at all. That's why when there was a special operation and Ben wrote an article about it, all he talked about was how many Palestinians were killed. That was a special ops operation. He didn't respond to that. I don't remember him responding. So, yeah, but... I DM'd you the time splits. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it's posted in the separate. Yeah. I think you asking questions always puts fear into these guys because they automatically assume that you are setting a premise. Yeah, I know. I just need to be better at pointing. I think I was really good in this debate of pointing out what was happening, though. Like, I think I pointed out really well what was going on. But I'll just continue to do that. I should be able to ask a question, and somebody should be able to give me a simple answer. And we should be able to move from there on some shared factual foundation. That should be able to happen. If the other person can't do that, that's their fault. And it should reflect poorly on them, not on me. That's ridiculous. At Destiny, repeating the same reality stuff over and over feels very condescending at the start of the debate, though, and seems overly combative. Like, I'm sorry, like, I don't know how else to put it, but if you can't agree on these things, then you don't deserve to have the discussion. You shouldn't. You don't need to be having this discussion. You just don't. Like, that's a requirement. It would be like me asking somebody, I don't even know, like, I want to go play for the NFL and I don't even know how to, like, throw a football. Or I want to play, I don't even know, like, I want to play hockey, but I don't know how to skate. And you're like, can we just, like, come on, bro, do we really have to go over, like, the skating shit? Like, let's just play. I just want to play the game. Like, come on, man. Like, that's what you sound like when you say, like, come on. Like, you can't just, like, fixate on these things. You need to move on to the extra. No, you don't need to move on anywhere. You don't need to move on at all. If we don't have a shared set of facts, then the conversation starts and stops right here. That's it. You don't go any further than that. There's no, what the fuck would the point be? Also, I didn't go anywhere near as hard as I could have personally. But, like, if I wanted to lean a little bit more into it, and maybe I should have, Ben is not generally mean to me personally, which I appreciate, although I know all of his fans are and all of the people in his circle are. But, like, this guy is a PhD professor, and he's literally written a book called, like, Give Them an Argument. Logic for the Left. Ben Burgess understands that in order to persuade people to join a political movement, you have to master the techniques of rigorous argumentation. He masterfully exposes the cheap sophistry of right-wing philosophy and shows why there's still a place for logic and reason in political discourse. This is a crucial handbook for those who want to crush and destroy the Ben Shapiro's of the world, written by our good friend Nathan Robinson, the guy I debated, who also likes to write. So, I mean, like, if this is the, I mean, this is him. He wrote this book. So, I mean, like, no, I think, come on. And he challenged me to the debate on this topic as well. Remember, he challenged me to the debate because I tweeted out in response to other, I think it might have been, I don't know who I quote tweeted. I was like, yeah, there's a reason why none of your favorite lefty content creators will talk with me about this subject. And then he was like, oh, well, I will. I was like, oh, okay, fuck it. He was the one that challenged me on it. It's like, okay, fuck it. Let's do it. He's the one that's written the book. Give them an argument. He got to pick the topic for this. I don't know. Destiny, but we spent 45 minutes going over those questions that you didn't even disagree on anyways because you had to keep explaining why they're relevant in the first place. That's fine. That might be what you have to do, okay? If you've taken music lessons and you were supposed to practice before you show up at your next rehearsal, and you show up at a rehearsal and you haven't practiced, you know what the tutor, the mentor, the teacher, you know what they're going to do with you? They're going to sit there and they're going to have you clap and count and slide on the metronome and either play scales or practice the thing you were supposed to practice and practice. That's what they're going to do. And you'll sit there and you'll do it. And you'll feel like shit because you knew you were supposed to practice and you didn't. And you know that's not what you're supposed to be going over because you're wasting their time and your time and the money that you're spending on it. And then you'll go home and that's it. You will never, ever, ever, and I'm sure this applies to every other thing you practice in life too, but music is obviously my background. You will never go to a rehearsal or to a private session where you were supposed to practice something and you clearly didn't. And the professor's like, okay, well, fuck it. Like, we'll play it at speed, set it anyway, and I'll comment. No, you won't do that. Just like, okay, well, I guess you didn't practice, so we'll slow down the metronome and we'll have you sit here and practice right now. Go to measure 24, play 3 measures, play it over and over again. Good luck. And that's it. That's what you'll sit there and do. That's it. If you can't make it past these basic parts, you can't have the rest of the conversation. Everything here works as like building blocks. At Destiny, I think a big problem is Ben going, whether I accept these factors or not, this is not okay. And instead of arguing what was and wasn't okay, you argued with him on the facts that weren't. No, fuck you. I said multiple times, I said, listen, you can agree to all of these, and it might not even affect your argument. That's fine. Maybe you agree with it. I said that. I gave him that out multiple times. So I don't know how you don't understand that. He should have just said, okay, yeah, I mean, I agree with you on these 3 points. I just don't think it's material. Like, oh, okay, cool. Then we'll just move on to that. That would be totally fine. That's it. He had the option to move out of that conversation. He was the one that wanted to go down and fight. He would bring up like 67 and then not want to fight in the weeds on 67. Like, it's like, what is happening here? Yeah, no. Destiny, for the do we agree that the U.S. benefits from our relationship with Israel? Fact, he has to say yes, but, because he doesn't agree with the fact holistically. It'd be like, do you agree it looks like the earth is flat? Yes, but it's not true with more information. Maybe, I don't know. No, I could agree with that. I would agree with that. I can do that. If a flat earther said, okay, hold on. When you look on the horizon, you agree it looks flat, right? It's like, yeah, it looks flat, yeah. You say yes, that's it. You see how easy that was? Yeah, it looks flat. It does, yeah. I don't need to ramble or whatever. Just because I say it looks flat because of my position, because of the degrees that it would change, because of the size of the planet, doesn't mean that I have to, well, okay, yeah, it might look back, but like, I don't know. Yeah, it looks flat. What's your next question? Let's go. Own it. Bite the bullet, own it. Move on. When you refuse to accept basic facts like that, it makes you look like you're a partisan hack. It makes it look like you refuse to engage in the conversation. You are. It does. It makes you look afraid of the next thing that's coming. And you shouldn't be if you feel strongly about your arguments. Also, I'm pretty sure Ben has said that he's thought about this issue for like years and years as well. Okay, so to debate someone like him, you need a moderator who actually moderates. That would be true too. The biggest improvement here, I've said this for a lot of my debates, would have been a moderator that's like, listen, you need to answer this question. You need to answer this question. Actually, I just remembered, I even gave the argument here. I even gave the example where I said, listen, you can argue that if we would have sold weapons to Nazi Germany, it would have been fine. Or like we would have made money off of it, but maybe even in the long term, it would have been bad for us. Like I could say that. That's okay. That doesn't mean we have to support Nazi Germany. Like I even gave that as an example. But anyway, Christ, what a horrible debate. What is your response to the copium people like Klein say about how live debate is like a test of memory rather than an understanding of the subject matter? I don't even know how to engage with your question. Is every single thing a test of memory then? Because you have to remember things? If you can't remember anything about what you're talking about, then you shouldn't be having written debates either. Just point me to what you're reading, and I'll just go read that. If you can't remember anything you're talking about, I don't even know what that means. Everything in life is a test of memory. If I go to eat a girl out, do I have to remember where the vagina is? Like, is that a test of memory? If I go to drive a car, is it a test of memory to remember which side of the road I need to drive on? If I go to fuck your mom, is it a test of memory to remember which lie I have to tell your mom's mom so that her mom doesn't know that I'm fucking her daughter, aka your mom? At Destiny, yes, but 10,000 times you did it a shit ton with Mark Lamont Hill and to act like it's a problem to not answer every question that cut and dry when you yourself don't always do that. You can show me examples if you feel like I do it poorly, but I don't believe that that's the impression that most people have of me. If you're watching me honestly, you're not just doing some weird obsessive like hate watching. I generally will answer and own pretty like uneasy hypothetical like almost all the time. I do this like constantly. Well, do you think that if it was the case that like human beings weren't sentient and couldn't, yeah, can you infinitely kill them? Yeah, you can. Yeah. I usually have no problem owning stuff like that. Now, if I'm having like a more intricate conversation conceptually with somebody, then we might start to have qualifying answers. By the way, also, I don't necessarily mind qualifying your answer with more information, but just not when we're in the basic facts section. Not when we're in the basic fact part. Okay, that should be easy. Like if I were to say like, don't you agree that, like here's a question. Don't you agree that Palestinians live a better life under Israeli occupation than they would under a Hamas-run government? That might be a question where a person could say, yeah, they might in a material sense. But I don't know if just saying materially a person lives a better life is holistically satisfying that better component, because it might be that a better life could be slightly worse materially with more access to other types of immaterial things like political freedoms. That's like a more quality. That'd be okay. I can understand that. Sure. I don't need like a no answer. Do you think it's materially better or do you think it's not materially better? No, that's a more conceptually elevated question where I would expect a more intricate or qualified answer. Right? Why didn't you push back his points like apartheid and genocide? Because we didn't even get there. We couldn't even build a shared reality to start discussing those things. I'm not going to go into complicated questions about genocide and apartheid if we don't even agree that Hamas engages in like fighting with civilian uniforms, or that there isn't a different treatment of ethnic groups. There's a different treatment of citizens versus non-citizens, and that's not based on ethnic group. Like, if we can't even agree on these things, I'm not gonna have a conversation about fucking apartheid with you. What the fuck? No, why the fuck would I do that? At Destiny, no, it shouldn't. Again, especially with good pro-Palestinians, you start hedging the shit out of everything and acting like Ben, which they're okay. I would need to see examples of this, but okay. Okay. A 8-year-old girl.
Best case scenario.
I want to watch this. I need to get to my. I need to watch that loner box convo. Is this going to be incredibly fucking stupid? She is on screen, so I know it's going to be incredibly fucking stupid. God save me.
Voight free or die. Hey, I'm our crew. Thank you for your continuous honest reporting on.
Do you push for the format in these debates? A little bit. Ben Burgess initially wanted a 10-minute opening statement, and I was like, fuck no. 5 minutes or less. Fuck that. Streamed 3 months ago. Emma implying HH2 Israelis didn't start learning about Israel Palestine until after. Wait, why is this being posted here? This is 3 months ago.
Possibly be worse. What could be worse?
Did we watch this already?
You're exactly right. Voight free or die. Hey, I'm our crew. Thank you for your continuous honest reporting on Palestine. I used to be a YouTube paid subscriber, but I canceled and used the money to join the Majority Report after I heard some of my favorite YouTubers being dishonest or cowardly on the topic post October 7th. H3 promoted the beheaded babies myth extensively, for example, and has not retracted since. Thank you again and again, and for showing us ways we can help, however small. You know, there are a lot of people, I think, who are of good conscience who maybe just didn't follow Israel and Gaza or Israel-Palestine in any meaningful way before October 7th, who will see a report in the New York Times or something and just run with it. And not understand like the long history of deep Israeli propaganda, which is only rivaled by Russian propaganda. Like, I'm being really serious in terms of global reach, only rivaled by Russian propaganda.
Okay. I don't care. Pondering Politics absolutely cooked Brianna Wu over her trigonometry appearance. 2 hours.
Be just a normie.
Ask you, Josiah, right? Since you're here
Sure.
too, right? We can't. I have some issues with both of you here, right? Like, I have some issues with Wu. We're gonna go through them.
I
You have some
am
issues with you.
well aware of our issues. You and I hashed them out.
We've
yeah.
had this conversation before, but I think it's worth bringing back up,
Yeah.
right? One of the things that Wu says here, I just think is correct, right? That in a lot of ways,
The propaganda point is almost certainly true, right? No, it's not true. I've been way too Nazi-brained in terms of who I debate or whatever. Israel, in my opinion, does probably some of the worst propaganda in the world, at least for the past, 25 years. If anything, actually, I don't know if Israel has ever been good at propaganda. I think it's just the circumstances of how that country was birthed, and then the conflict between them and all the surrounding Arab countries just made it an easy underdog story for people, especially people in America, to identify with. And I think that's where a lot of that allegiance from the older people to Israel comes from, because they remember, or at least their parents or grandparents remember, the days of Israel fighting against everybody else in the Middle East, and the fact that they're the only democracy. I think that's it. I think Israeli propaganda is fucking dog shit. I think they suck at it. Is my impression, but. Trump just posted publicly his talking points for the debate. No clue why. Mr. President, I'm sure that a climate question will come up during a debate this week, and I suggest the following talking points. Andrew Wheeler. Under my administration, CO2 emissions went down. At the same time, became more. Is this taking into account like the last year when COVID shut everything down? I love that people are like, you can't judge him for what happened under COVID, but he'll take credit for like reduced immigration under COVID and reduced, let's see, CO2 emissions USA by year. Oh, actually, it looks like they've been trending down. Hold on, let's check. Carbon dioxide emissions from energy consumption in the United States from 1975 to 1923. Is this like per emissions in millions of metric tons? Carbon dioxide. Holy shit. Oh, well, good job, America. But, okay. So CO2 emissions have been dropping since basically, oh, actually, wait a second. Hold on. Trump came in, would it have been, is it end of 20, or beginning of 2017? Is that when inauguration is? Because from 2017 to 2018, they actually went up. And then in 2019, they came down. And then 2020 was COVID. So I actually think I wouldn't give Trump any credit for CO2 emissions because it went up massively. Well, no, I shouldn't say massively. I'm sorry. It did go up in from 2017 to 2018. It did drop, but still above 2017 levels. And then the massive drop here is just from COVID. It has the greatest decline in 1 year total, though. Yeah, so what? It was COVID. That wasn't a Trump policy. It was COVID. Let's see. We can do both. Biden just increased the energy cost for everyone. Biden also rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. All it does is send American dollars overseas to benefit other countries like China. Because of Biden's climate and tariff policies, everyone is buying Chinese solar panels instead of American energy. Under my administration, we will continue to reduce CO2 and focus on American-made energy. If you get pushback during rebuttal and you need another point, Joe Biden is shutting down U.S. energy, canceling pipelines, stopping federal leases. We still need the energy. That means we're importing more energy from our countries that aren't our friends. When you transport gas halfway around the world, it means more CO2 emissions. Is there a way to see what would, if you're looking for like overall oil production or whatever, would it just be U.S. field production of crude oil? Is this what you would look for? Or would there be other metrics that you would look at? Do you support fracking? I think it's kind of a meaningless question. I think that the way to get oil and natural gas and shit now is by fracking. I think you have to. I don't think you can be against fracking, I think, in any reasonable sense. I'm pretty sure you have to if you want to be competitive anywhere. The question, I think, is just like, where do you frack, or how close can you be to water tables and stuff like that, I think are the important questions to ask. I think. I'm not like a fracking expert. British thermal units. Is that the way that energy is usually measured for importing and exporting?
I knew there was something here. Wait, but no, there's no one in here. Who's he? Fight back, at least. I've never even. What enemy does that? Damn. How much health do we got? Is that an emote? Oh my gosh. There's no one in here. What's he dying from? There's nothing. There's no one in here.
I knew there was something in here.
What? That's the whole video? Well, what kills him? Why don't you research climate change more in depth? Because nobody even has fact-based discussions on climate change. What's the point? Nobody... Those people live in a totally different world. Like...
Okay, so we got your application, and everything seems great. Everything is great.
Yeah.
But one thing, it seems like you forgot to fill out the race. If you didn't fill that part
I'm
out.
sorry. That must have slipped my mind. Yeah,
Oh.
I must have forgot to fill that out. My apologies.
Oh yeah, I see. But what's your race? Just so I can get that last part for the.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, what does it matter, right? Like, it's kind of outdated on applications, isn't it? Like, what's the point for it? You know, if it don't pertain to the job, I don't really see why it matters. Like, everybody's the same, right?
Yeah. But okay, all right. Yeah, I was about to just watch some TV, watch some sports. You watch any sports?
Yeah, I like a few sports.
Oh yeah, what sports? What sports do you like?
Football, hockey, you know, baseball.
Nice. Yeah, I was about to make some dinner. What about you? What'd you have for dinner?
Yeah, I actually had some spaghetti made.
How long was it made? A few days? A week? Couple weeks? Huh?
I actually made it today.
Convenient. Okay. You have a favorite music genre?
You know, I like a few genres. Classical, jazz, hip-hop, pop, rock.
Let's signal in on the hip-hop. Who do you think is the best rapper of all time? Who's the best? Come on, let's hear it, man.
I have to say Eminem.
Oh, really? You sure you don't want to choose, Biggie or Tupac? What about them?
Nope. Has to be Eminem. I just think he's best rapper overall.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm not going to use up any more of your time. You have a good day.
Okay, you too.
God damn it. Actually, you know what? We don't actually need you.
Listen, I can explain.
It's going to be a no for us. I'm sorry.
Explain? Apparently black people don't change the batteries in their smoke detectors, and it's always beeping in the background and they don't notice. This is a far-reaching meme, apparently. This conversation was okay. I don't know why I have this up, though. I'll come up to it on my trip. The beep because you don't change the batteries? Correct. Do you have the rich people example? What is the rich person example? Eight out of 10 Brian Bishop Joe Rogan appearance quick meme.
Yeah, we offer to freeze our female employees' eggs. I think every company should be doing this.
I completely agree. And I think
we even offer it to the men with their sperm. And the best part is, at the end of the quarter, I take the top performing male sperm and the top performing female's egg and breed them. 12 years later, we'll onboard that child whether it likes it or not. Some people think this is dumb, but
it's
those
the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life.
Those people are the dumbest fucking people on earth, Joe. Well, you're busy recruiting employees. I'm growing them in my basement. Have fun poking around on Indeed, you fucking knuckle dragger.
Let me use the restroom real quick and then we'll get started. Jesus.